Hello, this is episode 45 of Estate Planning Weekly, and today we are talking about some ways not to leave assets to your heirs. Hi, I'm Don Rolfe, the owner and founder of Northwest Legal Planning, an estate planning and probate law firm located in West Linn, Oregon, and serving the greater Portland metro area for all estate planning, probate, and estate administration needs. So today we're talking about ways to not leave assets to your heirs. So the number one way that I would recommend not to leave assets to your heirs is to say, do a pay on death to my son Billy for all of my accounts, and then Billy's going to split that up amongst his three brothers and sisters to make it a four-way split. The reason that we don't want to do this is, number one, that puts a lot of burden on Billy, and number two is, depending upon how much is in those accounts for those four individuals. So if we have more than $60,000 in all of these accounts that we're leaving to Billy, when he splits that up by 25%, he's only able to give out, without having to pay gift taxes, up to $15,000 as of 2019 per person. So if there were $100,000 in those accounts that you had left to Billy pay on death, and he wanted to split those amongst the four siblings, himself and his three brothers and sisters, it's $25,000 apiece. So that means he would have to be giving $25,000 to each of his three siblings, and that excludes the gift tax exclusion for an annual gift. And essentially, Billy could be on the hook for paying gift taxes on that. The better prospect is, or the better way to do it is to you as the individual decide how to divide that up amongst the children, and rather than doing it as a pay on death, probably do it through a will or a trust, to make sure that also your expenses are being paid, your final expenses are being paid, your bills are being paid, your taxes are being paid before that money just gets directly put over to the beneficiary. If you have questions about that or any other estate planning topic, do feel free to reach out to me by going to myestateplanmeeting.com and getting yourself right on my calendar for absolutely free estate planning strategy session where I can answer your questions and talk to you about your estate planning options. The second way that I want to talk about not leaving assets to your heirs is when it comes to real property, not leaving a single piece of real property to multiple individuals. The reason for this is who gets to use it. You know, if it's your home or a vacation home or rentals, who has to maintain it? Who of the people you leave it to are going to be collecting rents, doing the scheduling, all of those sorts of things. Unless we set it up, or you set it up as its own separate entity, and there are bylaws and rules regarding who gets to use it, who's going to be paying in for maintenance and taxes and all of those sorts of things, unless it's really set up, just leaving, the cabin to brother and sister is not a great idea, because they each have their own separate lives, their own families, and managing that cabin could become, a part-time job for one of them. And it more often than not, leaving a piece of real property to multiple individuals turns into a problem, especially when you go to the next generation. So if each of them leaves their portion to their three children, then you've got six people that are owning the property, and it can turn into a real headache. So I always recommend that real property be left to one individual, or we set it up with strict rules and guidelines as to how it's to be used, who's to use it, and how expenses are to be paid, and also how the multiple people owning it can buy each other out, how we do those evaluations. All right, and then the final way I want to talk about how to not leave things to people is to not leave your assets to people where leaving it to them is going to do them more harm than good. And if that's the case, to do it in a way that they can still benefit from what you're leaving them without it causing harm. And generally when we're talking about this, we're talking about individuals who may have substance abuse problems, individuals that may be on state assistance due to disability, and other things like that. We call these perhaps spendthrift or disability trusts that we put together to make sure that we can give these individuals the benefit of what we're leaving behind for them without, frustrating them by perhaps giving them easier access to whatever it is that they're addicted to, frustrating their ability to continue with their state aid as they have been because now they have an influx of cash. To make sure that what you are doing and what you are passing on is for a good rather than possibly a negative. So again, if you have any questions about these topics, please do feel free to reach out to me and schedule a complimentary estate planning strategy session by going to myestateplanmeeting.com. Just to recap, the 3 ways not to leave is don't leave a lump sum to one sibling and have to expect them to spread it out amongst everybody, because that can cause some tax implications. The second is, if you're going to leave real property, generally you want to do that to one person. If it's going to be multiple people, you're going to want to make sure that it's specifically set out who's responsible for what, who's going to pay the taxes, and all of those sorts of things. And then finally, we don't want to be leaving assets to people that could, by doing so, would be a detriment to them rather than a benefit. And if it is possibly going to be a detriment, how can we make sure that we get those assets to them to help them without causing that detriment? Again, my name is Don Rolfe, and I really enjoy coming on here every week or multiple times a week and talking to you guys about estate planning. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. You can leave a comment below and I'd be happy to answer your question on a future video or podcast. If you like this content, please hit the like button. If you know someone that would benefit from hearing what I've had to say, either in this video or any other piece of content that I've put out there, please share it with them or share it with the public in general. The more people know about these topics, I think the better people are going to be prepared for incapacity and passing and understanding what happens with their estate when they're gone. So until next time, take care. Goodbye.